Well, if you are watching or listening to the podcast today, it is February 11th, the launch day for my newest book, The Art of Self-Leadership. Discover the power within you and learn to lead yourself. I even have some mugs and t-shirts and all kinds of things with self-leadership matters in the front. Let me tell you why. People ask, why this book? Why now? Well, there were a few things that were the impetus for this book. Some of the things are explained in the book, but let me just get straight to it. Over these last several years, I really have noticed an increase when I'm speaking to audiences, or I'm doing employee focus groups, or I'm interviewing leaders on the show, or just interacting generally, where often many people feel hopeless, helpless, like their hands are tied behind their back, like they're waiting or in a holding pattern for somebody else, particularly at work, to tell them what next steps to take, what to go do next, when they can and can't do this or that, what suits them best, what career path they should be on. And then they would blame other people when they didn't see the results they were looking for. And I got to the point, it started kind of 2019 for me with that TED Talk I did on transforming adversity into opportunity, where I just felt like a lot of people were being victims. And I don't mean to say that or minimize the fact that there are real victims in the world, victims of crimes and things that are going on to them. And there are also the people who are victims because they choose to put themselves there from a mental state. And I have been there. I am not outside of this victim thinking, but I have learned over time how to get myself out of that place faster. Also, how to see a circumstance from a place of learning and not always from a place of, I didn't win, I lost, somebody did this to me. And I know that when I don't do that, when I don't have that thinking of, I am learning in this process, I am the boss of me, then I do feel hopeless and I feel powerless. And so I knew that I needed to write this book, which, self-leadership is the biggest component in caring leadership, which is my body of work that I created. And self-leadership has so much to do with how we lead us and not waiting for other people to lead us in a direction that we want. What that does by having that ladder mindset is that we give away our own power. And a lot of times we think that we're afraid of all these other things that are external to us. But to be honest, I think we're mostly afraid of two things: failure and success. And we have the ability to both control our visions or our perspectives on both of those. And we also have the ability to control how we move forward. So people might say, well, Heather, yeah, you're an entrepreneur. It's easy for you to speak from a place of empowerment because you're no longer working for someone. But that's not true. Number one, me working for myself means there's a lot of times I'm in my own head all by myself, trying to struggle my way out of a situation where maybe I'm struggling with self-doubt or with imposter syndrome. But there's something that I need to do to kick myself off that place to move myself forward and move myself forward more fast, more quickly, so that I'm not sitting stuck in the muck with waiting for other people, of waiting because I'm feeling like my hands are tied, waiting because I have victim thinking. I realize that I have to control that. Many of you have been following me here on this podcast for a while, or even just on the YouTube channel. You know a little bit about my backstory. And I like to say that I could be a victim. I could be a victim because there was drug addiction in my home. I could be a victim because there was racism in my own family. I could be a victim, meaning the victim part of it could be holding me back and stopping me from doing what I want to do and achieving all I can achieve. This is my fourth book. I have done 2 TED Talks. I am now on the Thinkers 50 radar list. I am being honored here and there. This is not to say I am just so amazing. What it is to say is this: I have clawed, I have scraped my way to every accolade that I've received for everything that I've accomplished. And I want you to think the same way about you. I am not above any of it, but in ways that I am above is that I control my mindset and I know my behaviors flow from that. My hope for you is that you go buy this book, The Art of Self-Leadership. Today is the launch day. Go run out and get it. It is a toolkit for you to help you move off of a place of stuck faster, to make you understand the power you possess, to control how you show up and the choices that you make and the things that make you pause or stop are in your control, so that you don't continue to give away your power to some people who, by the way, don't know what suits you best. They don't understand your value structure. They don't know what it is that makes you tick better than you know what makes you tick. So your family, they're looking to you in some way. Maybe at people at work, if you're a manager, they're looking to you in some way. Maybe your coworkers are looking to you. Maybe those in your community are looking to you. But if you don't realize that you need to look to you and that you need to lead you and that you need to care for you first, all the other things really blur out in the background. They're inconsequential. They do not matter in the big picture. So learning to lead yourself, discovering your power, going inside of you and saying, I'm no longer going to give my power away, that I'm going to use my voice for my benefit first, that I'm going to make sure I care for me, to be creating an armor around me that allows me to withstand all of the change and the adversity that's happening around me. So I can show up as my most brilliant self for the external world. You have to understand how much you can control that. Whenever you feel yourself in this place, where you feel like you're a victim of your circumstances, where you feel stuck, like the walls, like people keep putting red lights up, yellow lights up, but not green lights for you. Realize this, that you are your own green light. You decide when to turn it off and when to make it go yellow and when to go red. It is up to you more than you know, because it starts in your head and your behaviors stem from that. Yes, a boss can tell you, nope, can't do that. Yep, somebody in finance can tell you the budget's not there. So what are you going to do to go around it? So today on Self-Leadership, February 11th, the Art of Self-Leadership launch day, my hope for you being in my sphere, that I help you learn how to lead by example, build the winning culture, build the magnetic culture, the culture that starts first with you, because you can be the change you're seeking. Then with your other immediate sphere of influence, your family, those in the community, then those at work. But just know that it starts with you. Do not give away your power. I promise when you learn to own more of that personal power that you possess, to be the person that you want to be, to give yourself permission to take the moves that you want to take, that you need to take for you and your team, you're going to feel more empowered. You're going to feel more inspired. You're going to feel energized to get out of bed. And so my hope is that we will be on this journey together and that we can learn, find value in self-leadership like never before. Take care. Many hugs. Much love.